us into the... Oh, hello! Welcome to Reaper Errant. And surprise me, our technical director, Ann, is on top of it tonight, waiting for nothing, and no one will be in her way. Well, welcome to Reaper Errant on Reaper Miniatures. Hello, everybody out there. I'm glad you all have joined us this evening. This is going to be exciting. This is I don't know why I'm so excited about this game, but I am.
Oh, so, this is scary then.
I'm always
that's not promising.
That means that's a total party kill going on
well,
here.
so look, everybody is just at 5th level, and starting at 5th is one of my favorite levels in 5th edition because that's where the game ramps up. So it's going to be exciting. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll just chat with a frog for a while. I'm not sure.
That seems unlikely.
Probably.
Gotta find out who has our gizmo.
It is, that's true. So
or what?
Is to give a. I'm gonna let. Oh, that's right. I have to take care of some housekeeping sort of business. So I do want to say thank you always to the players for allowing me this this extremely fun position of being able to write a story or a general idea and then let them have fun with it and play it out and see where it goes, which is super exciting to me all the time. I also want to say thank you to Reaper Miniatures for this Reaper Errant game, for putting some Dungeons and Dragons on their channel. And also thank you to Sirenscape for our background and ambient music for tonight. Some of the music you will hear is provided by Sirenscape. Thank you to them. Technical director, which is Justin and Sidwee. Thank you to them. Sidwee you will see as Nightheart Gaming in the chat most of the time this evening. I am Frank. I usually DM for Nightheart Gaming on Twitch, but tonight I have the pleasure of DMing for Reaper Miniatures. And then I'll let all the players introduce themselves and who they're playing. And let's see, I'm going to give a little bit of time and space. I'd set up some shots, but they weren't very good, I guess. So we will start with Bobby.
All right. I'm Bobby Jackson. I play the mighty and indomitable Pugh, the gnome bard, master of illusion and positive mental attitudes.
There's some weird programming going on up there tonight.
Hiding behind fences. He's hiding. He's hiding again.
He's hiding behind a fence.
Yes.
I'm super interested.
My illusion to deceive your ability to deceive me.
It did. Yeah. Hold on just a moment before we introduce someone else. I might have to go grab. You didn't get to see the mighty and indomitable Pugh miniature.
No.
I had to make some changes earlier today, and that means that I might have dug some stuff away, and so I need to pull something out of here. Just a moment, everyone, and we will get this get this rolling. Go ahead and hit player 1 again, or no?
Were we supposed to add stuff to our?
Guess what?
To our stats.
You might not get miniatures tonight because I don't think I'm going to spend time fixing it, and there is an error. My apologies. To give you a quick rundown, you at 4th level. So, oh wow. Now I can't see that. I'm going to go back when other people are introducing themselves. So at 4th level.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. Except not.
That's gooseneck.
That is not a lizard man.
No, that is not a lizard man at all.
Very handsome. No.
It's a lizard man in a really good disguise.
This is amazing.
His illusion is ended.
I don't know what happens. I'm not in control anymore of this stuff. I'm gonna have another drink.
El Lagarto.
Before
I am the indomitable lizard man.
So, if you're wondering what's going on, all of the miniatures are lagging 1 step behind the players. But before we even get to that, I want to answer Jason's questions because it's important to the game, and I want to make sure that you, as a player, are cool with where we're going. I went into your character to level you up because I know that you had you can't get in there yourself with your operating system.
Right.
So when I did, I noticed that you had an ability score increase from 4th level that you hadn't done yet. I put it in Wisdom. You could have taken a feat, but I just kind of slid it in there. So yes, your stats went up.
No, that's fine.
Okay. And
okay, I just want to be sure.
Okay.
And we got more spell slots and.
Yes, and you got more spell slots.
Corn Cob.
And the
No, I'm very wise. I'm not very smart.
Wise beyond belief.
I'm only wise. Wise is all I got.
Yeah. Also, for your 3rd level spell, I chose Revivify, which we talked about at the end of last game.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that's perfect. Given as many times.
That's very helpful. Although the odds of Errant dying has gone way down, so I'm stand to lose some money.
So I'm going to let Gene introduce himself. What you're going to see on the screen when the director puts it up is actually probably Pugh mini and Gene's statistics. Gene?
I'm Gene Van Horn. I'm playing Gooseneck, the lizard folk barbarian, and I have a penchant for dying, but I'm trying to fix that. I rolled double ones just before the show, so hopefully I got all my ones out of my system. So we'll see. If not, Jason might be using his Revivify spell on me tonight.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Right? Why not?
If I don't use it, it goes away. So.
Let's see if that got any better.
Die
Jason.
on.
No? Okay.
There I am.
Jason, talk about yourself. However, that is going to be... Oh, my God.
I'm Corncob Thunderbludgeon, currently masquerading as a lizard man, and I'm a hill dwarf cleric of nature. And lots of ill repute.
Okay.
Lots of ill repute.
That's an interesting one.
Wow.
I haven't heard that one.
Wads of ill repute. It follows me like a bad smell.
Ooh. Okay.
That got vivid.
I'll leave that to you. Next, when Michael introduces himself, you're going to see what Corncob actually looks like. Michael.
Oh, no, it's K Nimble.
Oh, whoa.
That's not Corncob.
We need player 4. There we go.
Errant. And I have had a 6 chain, and I am wait, I disappeared. And I know how to cast spells now, obviously, and horns have sprouted from my head. No, but seriously, I am Errant. I am a Wood Elf Ranger. My picture is not displayed on the screen at this moment. I have anger management issues, and Frank is crying. So.
And abs. You have abs.
And
I have abs.
Do me a favor for the next ones and just manually put the overlay on for this turnaround, please. I'm gonna die.
It's all good.
I think we should sing a Christmas tree.
I'm going to get back there for a moment. Rhonda, how about you tell us about yourself?
My character is Fathom.
Oh, there we go.
She's a tiefling.
Sure,
sometimes you just embrace the stereotypes and make arrangements with powerful patron type people. And then you know magic. It's cool.
That's fair. That's one of the ways to do it for sure. And Kay, or I'm sorry, Jen.
I'm Jen Greenwald. I am playing Kay Nimblewit, a human rogue, who often wonders how it was she ended up with these people. And if
better than being a door.
You were a door.
You were a door. We saved you from being
I was a door.
Yeah, you had lost your agency at that point, so I think...
We're not a big step
Sometimes
up.
she wishes she could go back.
We're not.
Yeah, it was either us or stay furniture. I mean...
Yeah. So...
she's still thinking.
Just wondering if a door is technically furniture.
Oh, I
Probably not.
don't think so, no.
No,
Like
that's
a
not
lizard
funny.
You can
Man's
make it-
technically people.
You can make a table
Hey,
out
now.
of it. So I figure a door, a table. A door is just a table that you put over a hole in your wall.
Okay. I suppose that's
Life
one way to
tips
look
from
at it.
Jason Weeby.
Yeah.
I got that extra wisdom point cranking up.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how many more buttons are broke tonight. You'll see why later because I added some other things to the game. I didn't test it enough. So it'll be interesting.
Hey, we are
However,
on Reaper. So.
we are in
We
Reaper.
get
I
right
do
in.
I do all my best testing on Reaper. Thank you, everyone. So I hope through all that you at least got an understanding of the characters' names. And yeah, Pendrake was definitely hard to read in that scenario that we used it in. So you all have had a long rest. I will give you that. Because nothing, you cleared it out from the bandits. There was kind of an unquestionable crushing of them, to be honest, at the end there. And they quite happily fled. The mayor...
They got Pugholed.
They got Pugholed. The mayor, his family, they left, went back to their house in town. Lyndon is coming with a boat tomorrow that is large enough that he can take you out on the lake to wherever you need to go. And you had your long night of rest. You've woken up in the morning and are now preparing for your day in whatever way you wish. You, throughout the night and this morning, you can hear the sort of soft, muffled sound of snowfall falling.
We really got to get on this boat before it.
Yep, we got to
freezes
get
over.
on that lake.
Get on
Yeah, I
that
probably
boat.
should have
I'm gonna
taken
check
Liam
the
and
dagger.
Tiny Hut.
You're gonna check the dagger?
Yeah, take that dagger.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have checked it a couple times during the night. I don't have to sleep anymore because that's just how I roll.
Okay.
I'm good here till spring.
During the night, it seemed towards the evening there was it seemed like there was a slight change in position, but during the night it stayed exactly at the same place if you checked it a couple times. Then as you check it or in the morning when everybody else is awake and you're getting ready to go, it does also seem like it's in the same place. So
it's not moving around anymore.
it doesn't seem to have been moving around.
Well, let's go jump on it before it starts to get to moving.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take you out there to the boat. I'm not going to put Lyndon on the screen because he's not important. You're all important. We'll put all of you out here. I don't know that you've ever been on this isn't, the biggest boat in the world, but I don't know you've ever been on a somewhat sizable boat. Do you have preferences in the boat for where you'd like to be?
I'd like a larger boat, like the one we had in the last segment.
I mean, well, that's bigger than a lake boat, so...
Yeah, it wouldn't fit on this lake.
No.
Well, it's a bridge. It's a bridge then.
When you go to the
Doors
ocean...
are tables,
maybe.
boats are bridges.
You just go 4 feet and you're across the lake. How good is that?
It's larger than that. Any preferences for the boat? Otherwise, I'll put...
just whatever is safe.
Well...
You can hug a rail or something.
Okay. I'll
I'll stay in the middle, please.
All right.
Yeah, I could be in the front and shoot anything.
Yeah, all right. Abrin, you're just right up front, excited about anything that might come up. Ready to shoot.
And he's got his heavy armor on, right?
I don't think Abrin wears
leather
heavy armor.
Nope, not leather armor. Light armor.
You might want to
Doesn't
start
need
wearing
armor.
heavy
He's
armor
got
now.
steel.
Okay, any preferences?
Just make
No,
it.
doesn't
Let
matter.
those abs of steel drag him to the bottom.
Yeah.
Thanks, teammate.
All right.
No problem, pal.
You're all in this ship. So, Lyndon brings on, you just see him bring on a big satchel of tools in general. Oars, a huge bundle of various things. I don't know if you want to examine or if it's important to you, but he just
seems
says,
nice and prepared. I like that.
we'll need this. And he just tucks it away in the corner. It doesn't really take up too much space for you. And asks you all before we go, have you food? We'll be out on the lake, I'm assuming, all day. You'll need lunch.
Yes.
I assume we have what's in our backpacks, unless you want to go get us a pastrami on rye.
You are probably all prepared from your normal, just your normal stuff.
Well, we had those winter travel
adventurers.
backpacks too.
Yes, we are adventurers, Lyndon. So,
Oh, yes.
So it's not tasty, but we have stuff.
I have my goose grease to rub it on. We're ready.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot one of the most important parts. It is still softly snowing.
Oh, look at that.
Cute.
So seasonal.
we gotta keep.
Wonderful.
Where are the sleigh bells?
Oh, this isn't that kind of adventure. Yeah.
I meant
so,
sleigh bells.
oh,
not
okay. It is that kind of adventure. They're right here. So you set out on the lake. It's softly snowing. It is sticking, and well, not sticking, but it doesn't. It hits the water, sort of freezes. You can see that the top of the lake water has a little bit of a slush on it. Lyndon doesn't seem to be too bothered from it, but he gets out there.
Lyndon, are some of your tools just in case we get a little stuck in the ice or something? Is that what you brought?
Oh, I don't think we'll be stuck, but yeah, some of them will break through ice if we need to get to. I don't know where we're going. You said you'd point it out, but so I'm just prepared to travel anywhere in the lake. There are areas that are frozen over and areas that are just running free, and some that are a bit slushy like this, but we'll be fine no matter where we go.
Get out the magic.
I guess I'll just kind of turn around and check the dagger.
Okay.
Tell him where to go.
Point him in the direction, Fathom.
Okay, so you pull out the dagger.
Hopefully it thinks I can start whipping around.
It moved from the last time you checked it.
Of course it did.
But not tremendously. Now that you're at, it's not like moving to one of the other lakes. It's still in this third lake. Well, this first lake from the area you came in.
Hey, Fathom,
So
do you
it's
have
a-
to
it's
be
a weight.
holding the dagger for it to work? Can we put it on the floor of the boat or something so it can spin freely and then we can just follow it as it moves?
Well, let's test that theory. I'll put it down facing the wrong way and see if it reorients itself.
It does. It sort of scrapes across the wood of the bottom of the boat and just directs the exact way you're heading. It also begins, I don't want to be too deceptive here. You've put it in a slick enough spot that it actually almost slides forward a little bit towards it, like it's pulling towards it. So the dagger itself kind of moves forward across the bottom of the ship as it gets in a little bit of area that's slick enough that it doesn't catch in the wood grain, and then stops.
So if we took a pole and hung it over her head, then we'd always know where we were going.
Why over my head? Why can't it just be hanging in
So we
the
can
air?
all see it.
Yeah.
So we can
Hang
all
it from
see
a string. Hang it from
Just
a
hang
string.
it from that hat.
Yeah. It's a
All right,
compass.
let's
You
tie
can
it
just
to
hold it.
something.
Yeah, just
No, we
hold it
don't
like a
have to.
yo-yo.
Tie it to.
You
I
forgetting
have
I'm
this
stupid.
bow I never use. We could just. Apparently, I have a grappling hook. I could tie it to my grappling. Oh no! How about a quarterstaff? That's better than a grappling hook. I will tie it to my quarterstaff that I never use. Now it has a function in life, and I'm going to tie it on really well, though. You don't want to have it wander off.
And just say, Lyndon, follow the pointing dagger.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
Lyndon.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
should
no,
we start
that's
a
like
fire to keep warm?
that's a little Washington crossing the Potomac
Did you
there with
say start a
Abram in the
fire
front.
on a boat?
Yes.
Why not?
Because it's a wooden boat?
Oh, okay.
I thought you were very wise. I question.
No,
Question the wisdom.
The wisdom goes away the colder I get.
Ooh.
Oh, well,
That's
I know
fair.
how that
The
goes.
snow is making me cold.
So as you get out here, the wind picks up a little bit. It's cold. It's already very cold, but you have cold gear, so you're okay for that as you're going through. But it is a little bit chilly. And not the most pleasant experience for those who don't like the cold. However, as you travel the direction, the dagger sort of moves just ever so slightly. You're 100, I mean, you've already been pretty clear that it's moving, but you're absolutely sure it's moving now.
Do we see anything in the sky that it could be?
Make perception checks, everyone. If you're looking up towards the sky.
Natural 20.
Ooh,
there you go. Boom. I got a 6.
5.
Yeah, I got a 9.
I have 9.
I got a Rhonda.
The ranger is blind.
Rhonda.
A 1
Wow.
or a 2? What's a Rhonda? Is
A
Rhonda a straight
1.
up 1 or?
1.
Yes,
My
that
straight up
is the
one.
new name
I
for
feel
a
like-
one.
I feel I
Rhonda.
might be
I rolled a
insulted.
Rhonda, damn it.
Maybe.
I Rhonda
Like-
that one.
What did Kay get?
23.
Talk to my cat.
23. Okay. What was your total, Gooseneck? I know you rolled a 20.
24.
24. Okay. So the 20s and above. It is so for everyone else, as you look in the sky, it's kind of a stormy mess, or not a stormy mess, but it's overcast, and parts are darker than others, and you can't really make sense of it. You don't see any necessarily any movement up there. For Gooseneck and Kay, when they look up there, they notice that it looks like a stronger, darker front of colder looking weather front coming in behind this other one. I don't think you'd know necessarily.
There's a storm moving in.
Yeah, there's a storm moving in.
Well, let's tell the rest of the party. Looks like there's a larger front. Do we notice, is it in correlation with Fathom's dagger moving?
No, it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be independent.
So, guys, we got a big storm moving in.
All right.
Lyndon, do you think we need to go back?
No, it's rare that we'd have waves that we couldn't handle. And if you're ready for the cold, then I know the lake well enough. It doesn't seem like you're looking. It seems like you're following that dagger, so we don't even need to see clearly where we're going.
We don't know if it's above or under the water, though.
I can't take you beneath the water, but I can take you to where. I don't know if I'd recommend diving into it. It must be terribly cold.
Yeah.
I can take you to the
But
top
we'll-
of it.
Cross that when we get to it, I guess.
Okay.
Grease up our lizard man when we have to.
Yeah. They'll sink me when they gotta.
So he reaches over and grabs a hood and sort of ties it into the very thick jacket he has on and pulls it up over and tucks it down. And as you travel, you can see that it's keeping a lot of the snow and wind out of his face and eyes. Not too long into this, though. Well, let me rephrase that. You get to the location your dagger had pointed, and it moved slightly when it did. And as it does, Fathom, you think for just... Kay, your passive perception is actually something like 16 or 18, right? Or is it
19, my sheet says.
19, okay. Yeah, so you see a shadow sort of as you're heading towards a certain direction, and the dagger has not moved. Suddenly the dagger whips around, and you see it just... Okay, you see this dark shadow for just the briefest of moment. And then the snow picks up speed and wind and starts to get in your sight a little too much to follow it.
Was this shadow up in the air, under the water?
It was under the water.
Point. I think I saw something over there, but now I'm not sure with the snow picking up.
All right. Is this the time I go diving?
Yep,
How big
grease up,
was it?
Lagarto.
How big was it?
Well, how
Kay?
bad is the storm?
Storm...
Hard
Okay.
to say.
Yeah, let me answer multiple questions.
Because there's
Yes.
a lot of wind right now.
The storm is windy, and there's a lot of icy snow being blown around, but it's not necessarily fresh snow falling. There's a little fresh snow falling, but a lot of it's being kicked up off of other areas. So it's not as though it's dumping
So
a
it's
huge
safer
amount
under
of
the
snow on you.
waves, is what you're saying.
Well, not necessarily, but it's definitely, it's not like a downpour of torrential problems. It's mostly wind that's causing the problem right now.
Have we got everything secured on the ship, just in case?
Yeah, he was pretty good. You see
Good at
double
his
mast, but he rolls him up, gets him out of the way. It's not like he planned on sailing much today so much as using oars.
Okay, I'm going to tie a line to myself, grease myself up, grab a knife,
So
and
make
get ready to jump over.
let's see, make a sleight of hand check as you're working on this knot.
A sleight of hand? Okay.
Sleight of hand,
3.
Okay.
No sleight
So-
of hand there.
It took you a little time. You
Can we
fumbled a
get
little bit.
Lyndon to check him?
It wasn't the best, but even before you do, the dagger swivels like almost dramatically a different direction.
How big was the shadow you saw, Kay?
That's a good question. How big was the shadow I saw?
Really hard to say. It was large. It was larger than if you had seen a humanoid swimming in the water. It seemed more like maybe a horse-sized, or possibly a little larger, a little smaller. It's hard to tell underwater, but larger than a human.
A horse
It's going to take a minute,
in a
but-
lake? I like the sound of that.
Oh.
Can I cast Detect Magic? It's a 30-foot range, so it's probably not enough, but just in case, that helps
Yeah.
us spot the object or the thing that has it.
You no problem casting it. It doesn't detect any magic other than the possessions on yourselves. You can clearly see that Gooseneck's axe is
No, I'm
magic,
going to
for
concentrate
example.
on the water and kind of
Right.
try to ignore.
There is
what's on the boat.
Doesn't seem to be anything magical within range of it.
I would like to do Primeval Awareness
Okay.
and see if I can, since I've done it once before, felt something may have been out there. But can I get a better reading being this
Yes, you
close?
stop, concentrate. Primeval Awareness. What creature types does that?
So it says, as an action, you can expend one ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you.
Yeah, so within 1 mile, you get nothing that you don't expect to get on that list. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing, and I can't really sense anything directly around us.
Nope. The dagger is now kind of steadily pointed a direction. It's not moving off course, I'll say, but you
Let's
seem
go
to
that
have-
direction and see what happens for a little while.
Okay,
Yeah.
continue to go.
And
that
Following
the
the
detect
dagger.
magic lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So if we get close enough, hopefully that'll help.
direction. Okay. So you change course a little bit.
Well, the dagger's swinging free. It might point downward too when we get to where we need to go.
That was my
Bounce it
hope.
on your finger. Bounce it on your finger and see.
It's already hanging from a string.
Yeah, it's hanging from the
It
string.
should be just fine hanging.
Your
on a
way
string.
sounds like we drop it and lose it forever.
Hey,
Yeah, we
Lyndon,
would
do you
roll
have
on
anybody
that.
in town that does any kind of harpoon fishing?
No, it's not really needed here. Well, spearfishing, if that counts for some of the larger sturges.
Maybe. Just
What kind of
thinking if we have
horse-sized animals
to.
do you have in this lake? I
Uh,
mean, seriously, a horse-sized animal. What could it be here?
I wouldn't
A
expect
hippo.
any horse-sized animals to be here. I mean, the largest fish we even pull out isn't from this lake. It's from the other side, from the North Lakes, and those are catfish. They can get quite big. We've, 25, 30 pounds, perhaps, but not a
walrus.
horse.
No sailors' tales of sea monsters or anything like that.
No, nothing. What? No. I mean, the one that got away. Every fish is bigger than the next, but no monsters.
Huh. Well, then we're safe.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, he begins to have the. As you begin to go, he says, we're heading towards the ice push.
What's
Ice
that?
push.
Well, part of what feeds this lake. And as you go, he goes, look, see there. And he points out to a broken, you see like a broken chunk of ice sort of floating. It never gets this far out during well, sometimes it does, at all times of year, but it melts pretty quickly. But there's a large ice on the land, and it pushes out into the water.
So have we? Is the dagger pointing down at any point? Have we caught up to what we think
Not pointing
this
down.
position is?
No.
It's pointing out and away.
So it's not even slightly angled down or anything, just straight. Forward?
Really hard to tell.
Up a
It's
little,
not a sort of a
down.
perfect thing. You think from time to time it does push down a little bit, but for the most part, it just seems to be directionally aimed on a 2D
Let's keep
plane.
following it. Maybe this thing will
Yeah, let's
return
keep
to
going.
its lair.
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. No problem.
We're gonna need a
Forward.
bigger boat.
I don't like that its lair seems to be in this ice, but
Yeah. What?
we've been trying to get a
story-
bigger boat for a while now, but it doesn't seem to be working out for us.
This is the biggest boat I've seen for you guys.
We're gonna need bigger bait. Oh, look at those.
So yeah, you got some chunks that you can see as you're moving past them through the water.
Danger chunks.
Danger chunks.
I'm not touching that one.
And at some point he says, well, we're going to hit some solid ice. And he moves forward and he says, there.
Well, how about steering us around it there, Lyndon? What do you mean we're gonna hit some solid ice?
Well, it
Like it's
freezes.
just gonna happen?
It freezes quickly under the ice flow. You can walk on it if we, push our way through it enough. But
Do you have like polar bears here? Could it be a polar bear?
we have bears.
In a lake?
Brown bears are the largest things you would see here, I believe.
Polar bears swim. That would be bigger than a horse.
Oh, look at this. We got a fireball now, right?
Yeah. Who's got fireball?
So
someone had a fireball now.
No.
gets up to an area that is definitely sort of a solid chunk of ice. It is, you're not sure it's land. You do see some rocks sort of cropping up out of it. So you know it's not, it's shallow perhaps, but frozen water for sure. And you can hear the boat sort of just scraping across things occasionally, not damagingly, but very quietly, just kind of thunking along, a little clunk
Is this
and a little scrape.
some kind of a sunken island here, Lyndon, or is this a feature you're familiar with?
No, this is
Just come up
always
with the
here.
ice.
It's the first to freeze. That's the ice is. It pushes out of here for one of the into one of the lakes, feeds it, makes it quite cold in this area.
And it's this way year round.
Well, not usually as bad as this. So you can get a little farther into the water here before you get to dry land and the ice.
Do any of the local people ever come up this way?
Yes, occasionally there's some good fish. Some of the fattier fish like these waters quite a bit.
So in front of us is
And the
Yeah.
dagger is pointing onto this ice floe.
So yeah, at this point, when you look at the dagger, there is a distinctive sort of dip down, but it would seem to triangulate ahead, still underwater though, but where the ice is frozen on top.
Let's get off the boat and explore. There might be an ice cave.
Okay.
Okay, Admiral Byrd.
Gotcha.
The ice,
But then you
the
can't
ice
stand
isn't enough to walk
in
on
your
yet, is it?
boat.
Yeah, the
No.
ice is thick enough to walk on, isn't it?
It's thick enough.
That's what Lyndon said, I thought.
Yeah, he pushes in. You can see him. One of the things he grabs is this. As soon as he picks it up individually, you can see it's heavy. It just looks like a straight bar of iron that has been. The blacksmith just made something plain, and he sort of bashes it in and clears off looser stuff and pushes the boat forward more and more until he says, "This is good. It'll hold our weights."
How are we going to find our way back to the boat?
Breadcrumbs.
Well, I'll be here, but I have this, and he reaches into that bag of stuff and he pulls out this torch lantern, and he says, "I have a bullseye lantern." He pulls it out and puts it on the bow of the ship and just points it out that direction. Says, "Come back to the light."
How long is Lyndon going to wait for us?
I'm comfortable here for all of the rest of the day. It's about midday right now. I'd rather not
All
be
right,
here
let's
at
spend an
night.
afternoon on the ice.
Yeah, let's go exploring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waiting for
I'll
it.
try to be back.
Let's-
If
Well,
we're
we
not
don't go
back
from-
by nightfall, come back the next day.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll be
Look
back.
for our
Going
sad
from
frozen
Admiral
bodies.
Byrd to Shackleford here real quick.
Sad frozen bodies. Okay. So I don't, from your backstories, I don't think any of you are super familiar with frozen tundras or
No.
icy lands.
Why would
No.
anybody live in this kind of crap?
Okay. Well, I know you have the dagger, which you're taking with you. Well, maybe. Are you taking it with you or leaving it on the ship?
Yes, no, it's our only hope of figuring out where the heck the thing is.
Before we leave, is there an ice axe in that bunch of tools that
There is.
Lyndon
Well,
brought on the boat?
There's an
Can
ice
I-
axe, and there are tin pittons.
Oh,
Okay,
we
we're
should-
going to take those and make sure
My
we have our
favorite
rope.
terrain or environment is mountains, so I do have some experience in ice and snow.
Okay, yeah, that counts.
Do you think we should rope each other together?
That's probably not a
Might
bad
not be a
plan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how
in case
thick this
one of us
ice
falls
is.
through the ice.
Yeah,
Is
I
the
think that's a
Is there
good
a
Is it
fishing
idea.
any
pole? Should we
slower?
bring a fishing pole?
There is a fishing pole. Yeah, it's got. line and everything you'd need if you wanted to bring that. He'd
I
be
guess
happy.
we'd probably die before that's a big factor anyway.
You do
Well,
have
we
your
might need to
rations
fix something
still.
Yeah.
So you happen to have a sled dog and some huskies.
He does not have
We
a
got a
sled
Pugh,
dog
though.
or husky. He's well prepared,
We-
but not that well
I
prepared.
think I have that as a spell. Hang on a second. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll cast mush.
I'll cast mush.
What's your material component for that?
Dog food. Alpo.
Alpo. That's fair.
Speaking of Alpo, look at
Here's
her.
a Nico.
And mush.
Here's a Nico
Oh,
exciting.
yeah.
So cute.
Does that mean you need to run out?
She wants to talk in the mic.
No, she
Okay.
wants to talk in the mic. You want to say something?
Wow, that's really good. You've got her speaking on command like that.
Wonderful.
Look at her big feet.
Look how big these feet are.
You're gonna have a big doggy.
And Jen laughs. She's like, "You don't even know what a big dog is."
There we go.
Oh,
Now we're in frame.
what a cutie.
She's
Looks like she's
sleepy.
still sleepy.
Yeah.
She is still sleepy. That's
Now-
why she's letting me do this to her.
I
As
think we
opposed
should-
to shredding your hands.
Yes.
I,
Okay, she's good.
I think we might want to rope each other together. Or at least have
Yeah.
a rope. we
Yes.
can hang
I
on
agree.
to.
Okay.
Now, is there?
I know we
is
have
there,
rope. We sold our souls for rope.
Now, what if we get to a place and we've got to dig down through the ice? You know, if we get to a place and the dagger's pointing straight down, do we have
Well,
tools?
that's
why
that
we
would
have
be
the ice axe.
So you
got
have the
an
ice
pick.
axe.
We got my ice axe.
You also
I have a great axe.
he
And
wants
a
to
great
keep
axe.
the bar. He does have an ice saw.
Abram has a flaming sword.
Oh,
Let's
let's get that ice saw.
Right. It's not like a super cool modern ice saw. It's like a just a poorly serrated edged piece of metal, but it'll work.
Okay.
What's a super cool modern ice saw?
Like a
Cross
chainsaw
powered.
for ice.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
like-
a thing, really?
I just mean.
Okay.
Yeah, but with the nice.
You're from
teeth and
Canada
all
and
that.
you've never.
Wait, you're a Canadian?
Never seen an
I'm
ice
from
saw.
a big city. I have zero to do with ice saws where I'm from.
Ooh, don't you know?
Augers, ice augers. You got one of those?
All right.
All
So
right,
we've
take
got our
off,
ice
boy.
pile. We're all tied together.
Yep.
We got our crampons
And
and whatever
following
else.
Following the
Yeah,
dagger.
let's go.
Following
Play
the
on
dagger.
McDuff.
Okay.
Normal marching order.
Our normal
Okay.
marching order.
Normal marching order. So we're gonna go.
I'll
That's
go
Abran,
second.
corn cob. You kind
A
of
little more missile capability now. Not
go up
much.
over some rocks. Abran, corn cob. Yeah, we get sort of a tie here. Sometimes we'll have fathom.
Well, fathom.
Depends whether
Joel.
there's a fence.
squishy
Pugh
people
will
in
be
the
hiding
middle.
behind a fence.
And then
Yeah.
Gooseneck, you follow up the back, right?
Yep.
All right. Sorry, you're not looking backwards. That's my butterfingers.
Rear guard. I'm keeping an eye out. Looking in the back.
I mean, if we spread
Looking
out
for-
enough, Cujo doesn't even have to walk. He'd just be suspended on the rope.
His little legs.
Occasionally.
Oh, poor little Pujo.
You're heading across. So you're carrying the dagger. You're looking at it. It seems to be fairly moving. Occasionally you hear these very thick, like Abran. They sound like giant trees cracking in a forest, but muffled and muted as bits of ice are expanding and popping underneath
Nice.
the water.
Oh, you
Okay.
gotta love this.
Right. Do I see anything in front? Any? Is this just a whiteout in front of me, or is there any kind of cliff wall or am looking for a cave opening or some kind of ground opening.
Right. So you're looking at the ground, you're looking at for caves and stuff, and you see as your feet shuffle across this area that you're in right here, it's like the fresh powder that's landing on it, or ice that's landing on it. It's almost like it was a sheer, sheen, clear ice bottom. It's almost like this stuff is on top of a very clear ice floor.
Very smooth and clear ice floor.
You could reach
Like
down. You could investigate it some if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd like to investigate.
Fill up the
see if
ice.
it's just a flat
Okay.
surface, or is it?
It seems
Or is it really?
pretty flat and smooth. And what's odd to you, you do have a little bit of nature in the mountains, is the ice is also doesn't have a lot of bubbles and is very clear. So once you sort of dust away the sleet and ice and snow that's being blown off the mountain around you, push that away, and the ice that you're walking on right here in this area seems clear. You can see into the water beneath. It's dark though.
Can I use my survival skill to try to determine if this is unusual type of ice?
Abram, do you point that sort of this area out to the corn cob?
Well, yeah, I was going to communicate to everybody that I think this is weird, and my suggestion to Fathom would be potentially to check for magic again, because this doesn't seem like it's been naturally formed.
And are there magical creatures that might make such a ice?
I don't know. Make an Arcana check.
While they're talking, I'm going to go to the patch where he's brushed the snow away and peer down into the ice with my dark vision and see if I can see anything down there.
And Corncob, you wanted to do
I rolled 20, but not a natural 20.
Yeah, I wanted to do a look too.
Okay. 20 but natural 20. They're
not natural 20.
Right. 20 but not natural. It seems like a natural thing that's occurred. It could have been brought about by magic. You feel like if it's unnatural, then it could just as well be caused by magic. But this phenomena specifically, you're not aware of any creature making clear ice.
So incredibly still water or incredibly fast freezing?
So, Corncob, you said you wanted a nature check. What was it you wanted?
I was going to try a survival check.
Survival.
I could do a nature one.
Let's do survival or nature. Well, either one. I'll let you choose.
23 on survival.
Okay. You're not it seems unnatural to you, but you don't know what would cause it. Pugil, you get up there and you sort of help brush it away, and you kind of cup your eyes and look into it, down right at it. Let's see. I'm gonna leave Kay and Gooseneck back here a ways. Actually, I'm gonna move everybody forward a little bit, just because
I'm working on casting that detect magic spell, but it takes a minute. So.
Right.
More like 10, but
10. It takes. It's a small mat, so I had to move you forward a little bit. So as you're looking down into it, Pugil, make a perception check.
13 plus 1, 14.
Okay, 13. I'll say 14. Yeah. So you look down, kind of look in, and you think a massive. You are Pugil, but a massive shadow moves from in front to where you are to behind where you are as you're sort of looking down into it. And then fathom, right around as you're sitting. Well, you're not sitting. You're trying to cast a spell. Ice begins to crack around you.
Oh,
And
good.
this creature pops up through it. Bits of shard and ice come everywhere. You see like a sort of a, you think at first almost dragon-like, but it's like an insect. And you realize there is this very large...
Oh.
Aw, who sculpted that?
That would be Kevin, wouldn't it?
I believe so.
Thanks, Williams.
Dadgummit.
It is.
Thanks,
Rat
Williams.
bastard sculping something like that.
Bursts
I
up
warned
out
him.
of the ice. Everyone roll initiative. It took, even though it was sort of by surprise for them, it took them just a moment to break out of that ice. So I want to see what... So everybody gets to roll to react. And I'm going to get my piece of dungeon
19
dice.
for corn cob.
Oh, wait.
Let's see.
12.
So 19
13.
for corn cob. 12 was
19
that?
for corn cob.
Who said 12?
It's a dungeon die.
Gooseneck. Pugh, Joel, what was yours?
9.
They're cat
Abram.
approved.
13.
Fathom.
8.
8. K.
7.
7. All right, so I will let you know this right off the bat. As this thing bursts up through the ice, even though you're in the middle of casting this spell, Fathom, your dagger swivels up from the downward pointing position and points directly at the center of the body of this worm-like
He ate
creature.
the thing.
Seems like he's eating
He doesn't want
the
to
thing.
stab right into him or anything. That would be helpful.
I mean, if you left it on its own, it would get there in time.
Yeah, I probably don't have that kind of time.
Corncom, you are the fastest out of the gate here with that 19.
Okay. I'm going to go with my guiding bolt. Big money.
All right.
So, 22 to hit, ranged
Okay.
attack, and
Yeah.
then 5d6 radiant damage.
The 22 hits solidly on it.
5d6? Wow, that's a pretty sporty spell.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
23 points of damage.
23 points of damage. All right.
Nice.
Uh,
Take that, Williams.
All right.
Yeah, take that, Williams.
Take that. I'm checking something here real quick, and then I will be back to figure out what's going on because we don't want any weird things here.
Weirder than a giant ice bug that came up to the ice? No.
No,
Nothing
well,
weirder
not
than that, please.
that kind of weird. Certainly not. It was just a loss of power. There was some cords unplugged. That's all. No big deal. Yeah, there's some cords unplugged. All right. I love technical things. That was awesome. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, but the very next attack against it gets advantage, right,
Yep.
Corncob?
Advantage, yes, that is correct.
All right. Abran, you are the next up. You're quick on your feet. Even though this thing, well, probably because it passed behind all of you, you're quite fast to react.
All right, so my first attack is going to be with an arrow. Do I hit with a 15?
The arrow bounces off of a hard, sort of frosty, icy, chitinous shell.
Oh, bing! And so I have, with my second attack, since I am now level 5, this time I hit with, looks probably a 20, right?
That hits.
Yeah, and then so that's 3 points of damage, plus I'm going to use my Colossus, and so a total of, 6 plus 5 is 11 points of damage.
All right. All right, Abrin. And you just want to stay where you are, which is perfectly fine.
I am going
I
to
don't want to
back
be
up
that
a
guy,
bit to keep within bow
but we
range.
were all tied together.
You are all tied together, yes.
We are all tied together.
Okay. So is it going to get
I
wrapped
cut
up in our
Abren
rope?
loose.
Well, when we get there,
If we coordinated, we could wrap it all up, maybe. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we just run around
Yeah.
in circles.
I pick Pugh up
We
and
tried
try to
to
swing
walk
him
him out.
around it with the rope. Because he's got
You
great
go
experience
clockwise,
with
I'll go
chicken feet.
counterclockwise.
yeah, you all can't get more than like 10, 15 feet from one another, probably.
Okay, I stay where I am. I back
Okay.
off, but not
If
enough
anything,
to
we're going to have to.
hinder anyone else.
So it
We'll all
does.
die together.
So it's sort of an intrusive thought in your mind, Fathom. What happens if this thing swallows one of us and dives beneath the ice? You know, you're all bobbers on the line, kind of.
Could be good, could be bad. That's the way I look at it.
Goose
It's like a trot line for this thing.
Well, I guess I can't really jump back because I'm just where I am.
I kind of.
Am I within 40 feet of this thing?
Yes, you are.
Okay, well, I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is go into a rage.
Okay.
Which will, that's my, hang on, let's see. Yeah, I want to go into a rage, and I want to get up within 10 feet of it, at least 10 feet,
You can do
within
that.
attacking distance, or 5 feet, so I can whack it. So I go into a rage, Dex DC 13. You're going to get some lightning damage.
So that's a save. How much lightning damage?
DC 13. Did you save? You did save.
Yes, it did.
So half damage, 5. So you get 2 points
Of lightning.
of
okay.
lightning damage. And now that I'm 5th level, I get 2 attacks with
Yeah.
my giant axe. Here we go. Whackety whack. 17 plus 7 is a 24.
That's a very good whack.
So let's see, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points for the first attack.
Right. So
And-
before you swing that for second attack, you take that swing with that axe and it slices across. And as it does on the strike, this blood kind of comes out of it, as well as this immense flare of heat from the body. And just as your axe crosses across it, you take 10 points of fire damage as the blood gets across your skin and begins to burn it, or your scales.
Ah. What have you
13.
gotten us into, Fathom?
13 damage on the first attack that you did to it.
What's he doing?
Yes, 13.
All right, and then now,
And
go
I
ahead.
take 10 damage.
And you took 10, yes. Actually,
All right.
you took 5 because you raged.
Oh, okay.
It's still cut in half for you. I'm pretty sure, right? That includes fire damage? Your rage is not just bludgeoning, it's also fire?
I don't know. Let's see.
Are you a bear totem, or...
I have a rage with storm aura.
Let me
So
look at your character real quick.
I'm resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Okay, no, you took 10. Sorry. You are not
right.
the bear. Okay.
I thought about taking a bear. I did. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to whack a little more carefully this time.
Huh?
I
Don't kill
swing it
yourself.
What was it to
at a
hit?
3.
A 3. No, so just...
So that would be 10.
It was very
Awesome.
careful whacking.
It was,
Too careful.
yeah, it was a little hesitant after that first. Whoa,
Yeah.
the blood burns.
Oh, that hurt. I don't know if I want to do that again. My heart wasn't in that one.
No, I guess not. So you are probably the most aggressive towards it. So it actually, its mouth just comes right down to bite at you.
Ah, here we go again.
Now this thing, you look at it, it looks, whoa, nature. I'll tell you what, passive. I'll do a real quick passive. No one ever uses passive nature, so why not? Are any of you actually skilled in nature? I think Pugh is.
I am a naturey gnome.
Okay. Did
Nature
anybody
Isn't
else-
Jason a nature cleric?
Yeah, but I'm not skilled in nature for whatever reason.
Okay, so
No,
those
neither
who
am
have
I.
You
taken this
skipped
skill,
that day. Okay.
what is your passive? So 10 plus your modifier.
10 plus my what modifier?
The one where it says nature plus 4 or 3 or whatever.
Intelligence.
Oh, my nature skill is
Yeah.
a +7.
Plus 7. Okay, so 17 is your passive.
I'm naturey.
Yeah, you are. So you see as this sort of axe hits it, you see like some of the skin at the bottom of this is pulled away, and it resembles the way a snake molts. So this thing is just transitioning from like a youngster into an adult. But maybe that's good for you, maybe that's not. But you can see that it's in the middle of a molt.
Oh, he's trying to tug
great.
at our
That means its
heartstrings.
big brother is hiding.
I mentioned that, and he comes in biting for. We're gonna bite at Gooseneck.
I'll bite back.
You might. That's a 21 to hit you, Gooseneck.
That hit.
Okay. All right.
Well, they say insects are the best protein, so.
But I do have resistance. I'm assuming it's piercing or slashing damage, right? With a bite?
It is piercing damage. So
Because
this,
I'm in a rage.
you feel the teeth come down at you. Oh my gosh! I don't think I've rolled this well before. So
Oh no! Don't kill my friend Gooseneck!
You are gonna have to use that spell,
Yeah,
Jason.
And he's
So-
just going to be dead weight hanging on the line,
it's 20,
dragging him around as we're trying to fight.
26 points of
Ouch.
piercing damage. However, you only take
Oh.
half of that because of the piercing. However, so you take 13. However, the heat you can feel radiating out of the inside of its mouth even as it comes at you, and you take 12 points of fire damage that you don't get.
Ouch. Okay. Well, that drops me down pretty good. One more
Okay.
hit like that, I'll be dead.
Pugil, it is your turn. This thing is, it's you from what you saw nature-wise from it, you know that it's attacking fiercely and quickly.
I'm going to.
That wasn't obvious before this.
I'm gonna take a shot at it with my little crossbow, my tiny little Billy Barty-sized crossbow, and I'll also shout out the information. This thing's a baby. Keep an eye peeled for its mom.
Hit it in the eye, usual.
Well, I rolled a 6. That's not gonna work. Yeah. I rolled a 10 total.
Okay, no. So yeah, even though you have a good idea of where to strike this thing, it's not a good enough shot. Veers off in combat and wind.
Do I have any enough action left to begin to untie myself from this rope?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can begin to do it, yes.
Okay.
I can, Justin. Fathom, it's your turn.
just in case,
Kill it.
and I really regret
Kill it.
all of this, I'm going to grab the dagger and stab it with the dagger. If she wants it bad enough, then hopefully she's putting some mojo in this dagger.
Ooh, okay. I mean, she put some mojo for what she wants in there.
Yeah.
And all that was left of her was the Christmas tree hat.
My character is way more fashionable than I am. 12, so that's probably not a hit.
It is not. So you run up, thrust the dagger at it, and it just moves out of the way. It's very hard to strike.
Does the dagger do anything else in her hand?
No.
All right.
Anything else, Fallon?
She doesn't get any kind of bonus for the attraction the dagger has for the thing?
No. That's a great request, but no.
Alas.
Not even advantage.
Nice try, Usual.
It was a good try.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I don't know if I should run away a bit more than this, but I guess I don't want to mess up the people I'm tied to, so.
Okay. You're all in it together. Okay. Your turn.
I want to move up kind of on the back side of the thing and take my rapier and try to just stab it straight down through the tail.
Okay.
The idea being to hopefully pin it here so it doesn't decide to dive back under the ice.
Okay. Beautiful.
I rolled a 23.
That is beautiful. Boom! Right through the tail into the ice.
Okay.
damage.
Do I get my sneak attack bonus for this since there are people here?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. How much? Oh, it's gonna be good.
That is 20 points of damage.
Ooh, all right. So you go down, thrust it. It seems like you did exactly what you want. Of course, it does mean your rapier is
Stuck.
stationary.
Yeah, that's fine.
As you do, this gout of blood comes up against you and splatters on you. Sorry, no, wrong. My bad. Eight points of fire damage from just it spreckles across you and steams up almost as it burns. Like clothing gets hot on your skin. It's not pleasant to attack this thing.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So we're at the top of the round. Corncob, you are up.
I am going to toll the dead. You need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Nine. I don't think that's gonna save.
And I get to roll 2d12 since I'm 5th level.
Ooh.
You do. Ouch. That's big.
19.
19.
Oh,
Okay.
2d12, that's also a sporty spell.
I know.
That's pretty good for a cantrip.
Yeah.
That's a cantrip?
It's a
What's
cantrip.
going on
Yeah.
with my spells?
Wow.
Wow.
I
We
have
should all be
loser
clerics.
Yeah.
I know. I can strike a match.
Oh, I get 2 beams now. I didn't realize that. All
You
right,
do,
I'm going to
you
whine
do.
less. I get 2 beams.
Yeah, everybody's cantrip should have gone up by 1 die, by the way. If you're
I
worried
got
about
no
cantrips.
cantrips.
No, well, yours did not then. So yeah, it sort of tries to wiggle around a little bit, but before it can even bother with that, Abran, it is your turn.
Well, I'm gonna go after
Drop
the 2 arrows again. First shot is a 22 to hit.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that hits. And then that's a 9 plus 6, 15 points on the first one, since I used my Colossal Slayer.
Okay.
A second arrow I let fly. It is a 26 to hit.
Absolutely.
And that is 11 points of damage.
Oh, okay. It's still standing, but it looks a little
My
bit
God.
damaged. You can see a little bit
We're
as you.
lighting this thing up. It's just still there.
What were you using to attack it?
My bow.
Your bow. I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see as you've attacked it with the bow, areas where it was maybe having a little trouble shedding. You've sort of tore some of that skin off. You feel like most of its exposed body is a little softer than it was when you started this. Okay.
Yay.
Gross, but useful.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a soft little worm. Gooseneck.
Well, let's zap it with some lightning damage again, since
Okay.
I'm still raging. So we're going to zap it, lightning damage, Dex DC of 13 to save.
18.
All right. So half damage, take 1 point of damage.
All right.
Someday that thing will charge up.
I mean, the one is good.
At
Okay.
least it ain't splashing blood
I'm
on you.
probably going to regret doing this, but I'm going to whack it with my axe again. I'm going to try to cut this thing in half.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let all that flaming blood out.
A lot
Hey,
of
if the
good
glass
vital.
wall pops out, we can just leave.
15 plus 7 is a 22.
Yes, it hits on what is now a softer underbelly.
And
Snicker
11 plus 4, 15 points of damage.
Okay, 15 points of damage. The blood that sprays out on you is 7 points of fire damage.
Yeah. And I am down to 4. Right on.
All right.
Whoa.
Okay, now I
Back away. Back away
Oh,
from
the
the
course
scary
we
Move
did.
one.
action to get out of range.
think I'm gonna move. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to move back.
All right. As you begin to step
You don't have
back,
like a healing potion we've forgotten about or anything, do you?
this
I do,
worm
but-
whips around at you as you step back out of its base and snaps down at you with a bite. Just as you step out.
I should have just whacked it again, but oh well.
That is a 24 to hit you, so I think that's gonna hit.
That hits,
All right.
and I'm dead.
Okay. You're down for sure. I don't know if I would doubt you're dead, but I don't know. We'll find
The
out.
cold will preserve you.
The cold will preserve you. I
Some
mean, you've
expedition will be digging you up.
done a you've done a massive amount of damage, Gooseneck, but it's a sort of a tit for tat with this creature. 19,
I was dumb. I should have just slashed it again.
19
sorry,
piercing damage, and you only take half of that, so 9. And 5 points of fire damage. So that's just unconscious. Gooseneck goes to step back.
Failure
And-
success. All right, here we go.
The bite bites down at him, the creature.
Now these are still 10-second rounds, right?
6-second rounds.
6-second rounds. Okay.
All right.
I just
so-
need to 10 rounds a minute. Yeah. I just
Yep.
need to know within a minute here. I might have to kill this first or something.
Okay, so it looks at you all. All right. Yeah, it's we're gonna do what we're gonna do. I can't make this stuff up. I mean, I'm saying that, but obviously I am. Gooseneck, it lunges out and grabs your body and continues moving forward with it underneath the water. Sploosh. But all of you are tied together except for Pugil. So it looks like everybody begins sliding in towards where this thing has grabbed Gooseneck as it starts to swim underneath the water. We're gonna
Wait,
take our
Didn't
first-
Kay pin it to the ice though?
You did. It's not to that part yet where it's going to be yanked
just
on its
starts to
tail.
go-
It started to go
It's-
down, right? And begins to go under, and that's where we're going to take our first break because we're right in the middle.
Wait, right in the middle. What the
Right,
hell?
right in the middle, as it's
Well, in that case, I'm going to sleep for 8 hours.
taking Gooseneck down into the water. Okay.
And Nick was a cool character.
It was a cool character.
You don't give up
Hopefully
on
the next one is
Gooseneck.
almost as cool.
Was he
What?
greased
Hey.
up? I mean, if he's got his
I'm not
goose grease
giving
on.
up on Gooseneck yet. No, I'm not giving up on Gooseneck. Gooseneck ain't
No,
dead
if I
yet.
can get
Bring
to
him
him
back.
before we all die, we'll be fine.
He is greased up, by the way. So you know.
I was
Oh,
greased up
so
earlier.
now
I
he
was
moves
ready.
quicker through the water. That's good. Lower that resistance. You wouldn't want to weigh this thing down at all or slow it down in any way.
Well, I mean, we're definitely slowing it down because you're all tied to Gooseneck, and its tail is literally stuck to the ice. That's even if it manages to break loose of that, it's going to cause itself a world of hurt as it rips the rapier out. So
And
We'll see
sprays
what happens.
fiery blood everywhere.
that could happen too. But we'll find out when we get back because we got to get up, stretch, get a bathroom break, and maybe grab a snack real quick. So we'll be back in 10. Does 10 minutes? 10 minutes sound good to everyone?
Sure.
Okay. See you all
Yep.
at like 7:33, 34, something like that.
Oh boy.
I have a question.
Hello. Welcome back.
Whoa!
We have just a gooseneck has just been there's no easy way to put it. It's in the worm's mouth. The worm is now diving under the water. As it begins to move, everybody pulls in close because everybody's tied to gooseneck. Everybody's tied to each other.
Except for
Pugh, who worked hard and used some time to get undone. However, because of what Kay had done, the worm gets to the end of the length of its body, and it finds that its tail has been just pinned to the ice beneath with a rapier. He's moving fast.
The worm turns.
So I'm going to make a strength check to see if it rips free of this.
No, my dog Frank.
Oops, wait a minute, wait. I'm sorry. I can't use that die. I need to use a Pizza Dungeon die. It's part of the contract. It's not part of the contract.
You have a contract?
I'm making stuff up.
Man, we gotta get better agents.
So it does tear away. However, doing so is pretty violent. Since it's your rapier, I'll let you roll the 4d6 damage it does as it sort of rips its own tail out.
All right. $11.
11. Okay, that's a large amount of damage. It doesn't stop it. However, also a massive gout of blood sort of comes up in a random direction. There are 4 of you that are right next to it, so we're going to randomize that. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is Fathom, Kay, Corncob, and Abran. Let's find out who gets a little Remorez blood spray.
I know who I'm rooting for.
3. Corncob.
No, that wasn't it.
You big hater.
9. You take 9 points of fire damage, Corncob, as this blood just sort of splashes across you and down into the water and into the ice it goes. However, it runs its full move, which is... I need you all to make strength checks. You all get pulled in, sliding across the ice. I know you're not going to be able to stop yourselves until you get to the hole.
So this is its move after it attacks?
Yes. It's its movement after its attack. But I need everyone... Well, not everyone. Not you, Pugil, and not you, Gooseneck. Everyone else make a strength check. Or athletics check, if you prefer.
Oh, athletics.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah, athletics.
20.
Okay, 20 for Corncob.
That's
awesome.
not the same.
18.
Did you say 18, Abram?
18.
Somebody
yes.
better spike
Nice.
themselves into the ice.
Fathom.
8.
8. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's not great.
10.
10. 10's good, though. So, good enough not to tip the balance. So, I guess maybe some of you put on the pittance. I'm not really sure. But you've got, or the spiked shoes, I'm sorry. But as you slide across, you stop. And you can feel the tug of this worm underneath the water. And you have managed to stop it from yanking all 4 of you into the water. Between all of you holding back. But it's taking all of you to do it. And Pugil, it happens to be your turn. That's the end of this worm's move. It's trying to swim away under the water with Gooseneck.
Kill it.
Can I still see the thing?
You can see the outline or shadow. Remember, the snow's kind of coming across and the wind is getting in your ears a little bit and in your eyes.
So
if
I run across to the hole, could I shoot it with my crossbow?
You could.
Or is it too deep?
It would be disadvantage on your shot. It's deep enough to you could hit it, but it would be disadvantage.
Just play me a funeral dirge, Joel.
Is this thing an animal?
If you mean a beast, no.
So I couldn't speak to it.
No. And
okay.
Yeah, is that part of you being a gnome? Because that's for small beasts.
No, it's
Probably
my
ain't
speak
gonna
with
listen
animals.
anyway.
Oh, speak with animals. Okay, no, it's not a beast. You couldn't speak with it.
It's shedding.
Is it smart enough to be
adolescing? I mean, the whole
susceptible
thing.
to illusion? Knowing what I know about it, I mean, with the molting and all of my nature roll, would it be smart enough to be susceptible to illusion spells?
Yes, you believe it would be. It's got an animal, a high animal intellect.
Okay.
Can of raid. Show it a can of raid. Big can of raid.
Do I know enough about these creatures to know what there would be afraid of?
So they're not naturals. You don't know enough of. You don't know anything really about them. You're kind of trying to piece it together from things you know. It is snake-like, but it is also very centipede-like. It's got a number of legs across its torso. You feel like the heat. You sort of put two and two together really quickly that it puts off heat out of its body, and that's likely why the ice in certain areas is clear. It's melted it by being on it, and then it's frozen over quickly after it's been melted and air has been expelled from it and other impurities. So but it's not like any other natural creature you know, so you're not sure exactly what to do with it.
Okay. I'm just going to run over to the hole and shoot at it at disadvantage.
Okay.
Uh, 14.
Well, yes, you find a soft spot where the molt has left a bit of skin that's a little softer than the rest of it, and because of that, you're able to stick that bolt right in there. How much damage?
7 points.
Good job, Pugh.
7 points. Okay, so as it hits, the blood sort of oozes out into the water. Doesn't hurt anybody around. Anything else, Pugh?
Joe.
That's all I can think of to do.
Okay. Fathom, it's your turn. You're sort of holding the line strong, but...
is he... May I ask a question before we move on? Is it permissible for me to do bardic inspiration on Gooseneck, even though he's unconscious, so he'll get the advantage on the bonus for his savings throw?
I just have one question. Does bardic inspiration at any point in the wording says the character may use it on their next roll? If it's ever an option for the character and they're unconscious, they can't use it. If it says they have to use it on their next roll, yeah, they can't make a decision for themselves. So if it's an option, they can't use it. Okay,
never mind.
Fathom.
Thanks anyway, Pugh.
Is there any chance that I've scraped my hand, or I could stick my finger in the blood or something? Just be just a tiny bit damaged by the creature.
I mean, there's blood all over the other people.
Because I would like to hellish rebuke it, but I have to be damaged by the creature.
Yeah, well, conveniently, it hasn't damaged you.
Yeah, I know.
With fire
damage. For some splash because I have fire resistance too. That's why it's partly why I didn't run away. I'm like, if I could get some splash damage.
Oh no.
So no, that would count as doing it to myself.
Part,
I guess.
Apparently.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I've never done it.
Is part of its tail still on the ice?
I mean, no. There's some meat hanging off the blade, but not really any significant portion of its tail. And it would not count as doing damage to Fathom if you touched that blood.
Yeah. All right. I will just cast Eldritch Blast then.
Okay.
Just.
That's great.
12 is my total.
12 is your attack total.
Do I roll twice for the?
Yeah, you will roll one
beams,
for each. One for each Eldritch Blast. Now that you have two.
Well, the second one is 18.
Okay, so the first one sort of hits, and the water slows it down, and current sort of it off to the side. The second one hits the water, slows down a little bit, but strikes true on the target. Blam! And everybody can feel the impact that they're hanging onto the rope as this forceful magical bolt hits it.
10 points of damage.
10. Nice.
Right.
Okay. Eldritch Blast. Very nice. Yeah, you use your action to attack. You're kind of, the rest of your everything has to be to hold back against this rope or be yanked under the water, whichever you prefer.
No, I would prefer to hold back against
Okay.
the rope.
Okay. Your turn.
So I think I'm just going to grab a hold of my rapier, which is still stuck in the ice, and use that to try to strengthen our ability to resist it swimming away.
Okay. You've grabbed onto it, and the rapier is lodged very well into the ice. So, if there are any further athletics checks to hold on, you get advantage as you're holding onto the rapier.
Okay.
But you can do that as a bonus action if you want to take any other actions.
I do not have any other actions that I want to take.
Okay. You're holding on. Okay, Corncob, it is your turn.
I'll go with my second level guiding bolt,
right.
which is a 23 to hit.
That strikes him. Even through the water, you can, all of you looking down into the water, see this radiant light sort of cast off the shadows as it passes through the water in a beam that's trailing, not really sparkles, but it looks like water that's illuminated with light behind it in a trail and impacts the worm.
23 points.
23.
Awesome.
Wow. That is massive. All right. It hits the worm, and it just, you can watch bubbles escape from its mouth around Gooseneck.
It didn't hurt it enough to let go.
It didn't. You are a prize snack.
Scream out in pain.
I mean, this time of year to get a reptile in the cold waters of a lake is just, you're like a dining
It's all the
experience.
extra grease I have on me.
Yeah, plus you've got.
You did make yourself more delicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's that cold, it should send him into a hibernative state, and maybe he's not going to die as quick.
That's a good point. I'll take that into consideration. Thank you, Corncob.
We might need that at some
Abran.
point.
Well,
Come on,
nice.
put this thing away, man.
I'm still able to shoot at just a disadvantage, correct?
Correct.
All right. My first shot at him, the low score is a 22.
That strikes it, yes.
All right. And then so that's 5 plus 10 plus 4, 14 points of damage on the first arrow.
Yes! So the first arrow hits it, and all of a sudden you all feel this sort of release of pull. This worm is not moving against you anymore as you strike it. So you get your second attack if you want, but all of a sudden it sort of goes limp a little bit in the water.
Cool. No, I use my second attack to reestablish our footing with the rope and on the ice and everything.
So you just sort of line up.
Well, now
sort
we
of
need to
grab
pull
your
against it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
ready to
not going to take us out of rounds yet because there's someone drowning / dying in the water. So
Well, and the mother too.
How many hit points does he
apart
have?
from the not breathing.
Gooseneck,
I'm ready.
I need you to make a
How many
death saving throw.
All righty, here
How
we
many
go.
hit points does Gooseneck have?
He's got 0 hit points.
Yeah.
He's at 0 even.
Yep.
I'm at,
0. You're at 0. Yeah.
do I get any bonuses? It's just a straight roll.
Just a straight. Well, so you just roll a d20, and what you want is 10 or better.
All right, here we go.
Roll a 1.
7. Ugh.
7. 1 fail. So Gooseneck, just you start to bleed out. Also, I would like to say, unfortunately, because you are underwater, so you have 1 death save, and you get some water, inhale it into your person, which is not. It's not ideal.
Somewhere I read I can breathe underwater at 5th level.
Yeah, I thought he could breathe underwater.
Oh, you can. Good. Thank you for pointing that out. So you do get water in. Gooseneck, you're the perfect person to be pulled under. You do get water in, but you know what? It doesn't bother you that much.
That's why we're sending him
That's why we greased him up.
That's why you were greased up. Good job. All right. So, all right, it's the worm's turn. Everybody, the worm sort of floats up. Gooseneck is not in his mouth, but it doesn't really matter because you're all tied to Gooseneck.
See? You thought it would be a debit.
You thought it would be a debit, but it's not. Yeah, it floats up. I'm sorry, I just kicked the camera. Where you can see its body as it raises into the water. Around it, the ice, even in its dying, the ice around it gets clarified. You can see streams of water off the top of it. It's heating up the water around it. Pugil, it is your turn.
But the worm is unconscious. It's not.
The worm is unconscious. It's not moving or resisting. It might be dead, not just unconscious. And then you know, down in the water, it sort of released its slack in its jaw, but probably a good 20 feet underwater, tied to all of, well, 15 feet. Sorry, it's as far as it could get. Tied to all of you is Gooseneck, just limp in the water as well.
Okay, I will grab the slack there coming off of Abran's belt buckle and start pulling Gooseneck up.
Okay, make a strength check.
I don't have a bonus, so 15.
Okay, no, it's good. There's no currents meshing against. The worst thing is the wind that's on the surface. Actually, I'm going to kill this battle music because you don't need it anymore. You've successfully taken on this battle. The only thing you have now is just the winds blowing across you, which is not comfortable, but much better. All right, so you're able to reel him up quite a bit, Pugil. Just pretty much to bloop, bobbing on the surface right next to, in the same hole that this worm made. And that's what you're able to do on your turn. Fathom, it's your turn.
Thanks, Pugil.
So he's bobbing. He's not.
He is not
yet.
conscious. He is face
Start pulling
down.
up
He's
the worm.
got water. He's not
I think
moving.
I better try to help pull him up.
Okay. Make an athletics check. DC is 8.
I'm rolling in the tray. 12.
12. Yes. No problem. You pull him up onto the ice.
Flip him over right way up.
Okay. You realize he's got water in his lungs. I'll say lungs. I'm not really entirely sure of a lizard folk's anatomy, but he's got water in his lungs, but you don't think that's a disturbance to him necessarily. However, he is still, you see him bleeding out from the piercing of the teeth. Nothing you can do about that now, unless you know something I don't. But yeah, you can see his life sort of bleeding out of him.
I'm just going to look at Corncob. It's
Okay.
all on you.
Okay, it's your turn, though, before we get to Corncob.
We need to get the worm, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Corn has the stuff.
So I guess I'm going to retrieve my rapier,
Okay.
stab the worm a couple more times, and make sure it's dead.
Done. So you pull out the rapier, you stab it once, no problem hitting. However, a little bit of blood comes out, take 2 points of damage, and you might think stabbing it a second time. It's almost impossible to hit this thing. close to its death even without taking some damage from it.
I got
It's
a club.
so fiery.
I mean, if you want, yeah, you can stand back and we can.
You can stand back, yeah, but not with a melee weapon. Anything close to it, it's very hot. Even if the blood doesn't get on you, when you were actually attacking it, the heat alone ripples up your arm and causes some pain.
All right, but
to the best of your knowledge, it is truly dead.
okay, good enough. I'm going to step back away from it, and Fathom can go digging for her crystal thing.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably inside a very hot place. Corncob, it is your turn right now, though.
What is the worm up on the ice?
Yeah, well, no. It's basically his body is just floated up to the surface inside a hole that is starting to get slush and sleet and icy rubble in it already. It's not in danger of freezing over immediately, but it's.
Do I think this is about ready to sink?
It won't stay floating for too long. No. Yeah. It's not about ready to sink, but if you're going to plan on doing anything within, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, it will sink by then.
Okay, well, if it's gonna stay there, yes, if it's gonna stay there for a minute or two, I'll come over and use a second level cure wounds on Gooseneck. So let's see, that's 2d8. This one is 7. Second one is 12. Because I get a plus 4. So 7 and 12 is whatever 7 and 12.
19 points of healing, Gooseneck. So Gooseneck,
Nice.
in whatever state you're in, just this icy, sharp pains inside your lungs from you unconscious breathing, whatever is in your dreams. You feel the familiar radiant warmth that you associate with corncob.
Of corncob.
And your eyes spring open.
Familiar radiant warmth.
And even though there's a sharp, cold pain from water inside your body, you are a conscious safely in the world of the living again.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
Corn.
and then you're welcome. For my backup, I'll holler to somebody to secure the worms.
Okay. Corncob's
Secure
got,
the worm.
he's got bits of ice in his beard as it starts to crystallize. The temperature out here, if you're wondering, is probably about, I don't know, 2 or 3 degrees on the Fahrenheit scale.
Well, let's get that orb and get the hell out of here.
Should
Get back to our house where it's nice and warm.
Well, can we tie the ice saw to the end of my quarterstaff and stand at a distance and cut it open?
Oh, the worm.
Or can we?
Yeah.
Can
Well,
we tie the worm off and drag it?
Yeah, you're out of
Let's
rounds
drag
now,
it and
so
let it cool down for a little while.
unless you're actually cutting through the body, you can present any plans you want. I won't. There's
Well,
no
don't I
damage
have
or
to
anything.
cut through the body?
Well,
Yes,
get
you
to
don't.
his
You
mouth?
don't
Drag it
necessarily
back
have to do it here on the ice, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
can't
drag
we
it back.
Can't
Well,
we?
that's fair.
Yeah,
Drag it for
if
a
we
while.
tie it
Let
to
us
the
do
boat
that.
and just take it back to the mayor's house and let it stiffen up a bit.
Let's drag it back to the boat and see if it's any cooler. I don't want to go trolling for
Drag
its
it.
mom.
Okay.
Let's tie it up and drag.
All right. That's no problem. You have rope, and Pugil's not connected to it anymore, so there's a space to tie it.
Well, we have other ropes too. We have a lot of rope now.
You do. I
Who
believe
he's an independent operator.
you went out of your way to make sure you had a lot of ropes.
Yes.
At least that's a nice way to say it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you all drag
We
this.
sold off Abran's virtue to get a lot of rope.
You all drag this worm behind
How
you.
much rope could we possibly have gotten?
yeah, really.
I'm
We were
gonna.
looking for feet, not inches.
I have no idea. I don't know. I think I'm gonna move a camera myself because I'm gonna.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks.
Feet, not inches. Wow. Wait a minute. We switched over here already? Oh my God, I wasn't ready for it. And Justin? Justin? Okay, it's Anne. Never mind. Anne's in charge. All right. I've got to bring I've got to make sure that we all know that we have technical directors and camera operators, because they're here too. You make it back to the boat. You drag the worm across. Lyndon's waiting for you. It hasn't actually been that long. It's been maybe an hour or an hour and a half at most.
How about this? Can we bury somebody's sword or dagger pointing up from the ice, and then we drag this over it? You know?
Let's get it back to the mayor's house, and then we can worry about it.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
we'll
really
have
don't
plenty
wanna
of time to
drag-
Well,
cool
does it
off.
fit on the boat?
It will fit in the boat with you, yes. I mean,
Oh, all right. So we're not trolling.
Hey, Fathom,
Isn't the blood all
take the-
draining
take-
through the tail?
it is leaking blood. The blood does do fire damage. The boat is made of wood. There is some concern there. Yes.
We hang the tail
said
off
just-
the boat.
Point the
Just
thing
rope
at it
it-
and find out where
rope it
the
and
whole.
tow it.
We're,
like a
well,
dead
we're
shark.
we're assuming the ball is in this thing. Let's check and make sure first.
The
That's it,
dagger,
yeah. I'm saying
where,
Fathom.
where is it
Wait.
in the body?
without a
Yeah.
doubt, without a doubt, Fathom, the dagger is pointing at the worm. The worm either is the thing or the thing is in the worm.
She
And
can walk
considering
around it. The dagger
you
continues
know
to
that
point.
that it is a glass orb of some sort, or not glass, but an orb of some sort. You assume it's in the worm.
We should be able to cut this open without splashing too much blood. If we're not trying to hack
Well, let's
it, right?
tie the ice saw at the end of my quarterstaff and stand back
Okay.
and saw it open
Yeah. Sure.
where the goodie is supposed to be.
It still didn't hurt you. You're
I'll do
still-
it. You're all wussy about fire.
Who is the best?
No.
All right. So sleight of hand to tie the rope. It's
I'm a
dexterity.
+5.
That's why I'm using it. All right, Abram, you want to tie this rope around tie the ice saw to the quarterstaff?
Yes, I rolled a 14.
Okay. All right.
I have a really good survival skill for cutting things up.
In this case, you don't need it.
You'd like
so
to
you start sawing
slice
at it,
and dice.
and you get into the internals. It is somewhere inside that you think you have found the exact area where it might be. It's unimportant, but one of you will take damage when you reach in and pull the orb out.
Can't we
Is
reach in
well,
with a
this is
pole?
I just need a
My
volunteer.
assignment. I'll do it.
Okay,
Are you sure you
volunteer.
5 points
I'll
of
volunteer.
damage,
I got more.
Fathom.
I'm
Oh,
tough.
Fathom did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Fathom just reached in.
Fathom's
Well,
fire
I take
resistant.
half, right?
Yeah, you take 2, and
Yeah,
not
fire
5.
resistant.
Oh, I wonder why she's fire resistant.
She's in league with the devil.
Of course.
Well,
She's
so
a-
are you now. Don't get
Well, that's
high
a
by
good point.
Indirectly.
We're all referred to in. Yeah, that's not good.
So Lyndon is a little bit. He's like wide-eyed when you bring this creature back. He hasn't.
Yeah,
seen
remember how you
anything
said
like
there weren't
this.
any mythical creatures around here?
He looks at you. He goes, "What is this thing? What have you?"
Well, there aren't any more.
It's not nice, I'll tell you
This is
that.
the baby. There's a mother around here somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't
Mhm.
know that. For
And it
sure.
almost ate our lizard.
It seems like a giant
Wouldn't
bug.
mess
I'm
with
not
it.
sure how much maternal instinct there is in a giant bug, but let's get the hell out of here.
If you see one that looks like this, just run away, Lyndon. Run away.
I think we should tie to the boat and tow it like a dead shark back to the
Yeah.
mayor's house.
You know what? There might be some good bones in there. Or
Yeah,
some
there
leather.
might be some good parts.
Okay.
Do we know if there's any
Yeah.
good parts to it?
Yeah, like valuable parts.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Magically
Everyone,
delicious.
I'm sorry.
Know what it is.
I'm sorry. Everyone's skilled. I hate to do this because
Those
I
are
know
the
it's only Pugil.
if you don't know what they are.
Everyone's skilled with nature. Well, wait, and everyone's skilled with Arcana. You may make a check
See?
with Arcana or nature.
That's both
Now I'm
negative
in.
ones for me. I
I'll
would
start.
think a mage might have an idea.
Pugil, what was your check? What's your
22.
22.
Nature.
That's great. 22 nature. Arcana checks. Anybody?
A
16
a
Arcana.
16
Yeah, big
Arcana
old
for
six.
a 6. Abrin, you
Six.
you don't think this thing's useful at all, other than for target
Yeah.
practice. Um,
Well, to be fair, that's how he feels
Good
about
again.
most everything.
Yeah, he didn't need a roll for that.
That's very fair. Fathom.
That's a life philosophy.
You believe that any creature that is some abnormality or monstrosity and aberration in any way is probably has parts that are valuable to the magic community. You're not sure exactly what that is. Pugil, with your nature roll over 20, you think the blood is probably very valuable. It is. There's heat and fire just associated with it in general as a property of potions or potives of some sort. The blood of this creature either has tremendous value in a purely magical sense or in a capitalism sense, if you want.
We
How
can
much
doctor
is-
up some medicinal mead.
How much is Lyndon? How much is one of those sails worth to you? Because we're gonna have to row back, right?
We have to row back, yeah.
How much does it cost to replace one of your sails? I'd kind of like to wrap this in a sail.
Maybe two silver at best with the work to hem it up.
I'll give you 5 silver if we can have one of those sails.
Of course. And he immediately goes and gives you a sail.
We
Damn.
roll this thing up into the sail.
Yeah, you can roll it up.
All right. Then I will do that. Being careful not to get any blood on me.
Okay. So
And
as
hoping
you,
that
yeah,
Gonna burn through.
no problem. You're okay with that. It
it burns
is
through the sail, it'll burn through the ship. So
right. So it is you found that keeping water and bailing it out and you found a way to transport with it. We won't go into the details. It does get hot. It could burn or sear wood. It is likely to sear the bottom of his ship. He's okay with that as long as it doesn't actually catch on fire. But you found ways to keep water going into it.
well, we'll keep packing it in ice or
Exactly.
snow.
So you found a good, healthy way. And as you come back, everything starts to settle down a little bit, as though maybe this snowstorm was just part of having to go out. Settles down. You've maybe got 6 to 12 inches of snow on top of some of the frozen over areas or trees or rocks that may be coming over. But in general, the snow is hitting the water, and as you move farther away from this ice flow, it's no longer sticking. I'm going to put you all on the ship.
But the big storm we were anticipating has fizzled.
I wouldn't say fizzled, but it's run its short, very short course.
Okay.
Was it a natural storm?
Yeah, it was natural. The DM just chose to use it as part of making things difficult for you.
Atmospheric.
I'd rather have a storm than a death worm.
Speaking from experience, 6 to
Flaming
12
death
inches
worm.
of snow over the 8 or so hours we've been out here is pretty good.
Yeah.
Is anyone else damaged? Because I'm down 9 points. If no one else is damaged, someone have a.
I've
Well,
taken 10.
I'm down 31, but I'm assuming we're going to rest and
This is one of
I have a
those
paper cut.
where most of these people have taken, most of all of you have taken some damage. Okay.
Well,
Oh no, the danger
why
cubes are
don't
back.
why don't I cast
Thanks
my
for you.
last second level spell and do a prayer of healing? I assume I can affect myself with that, right? While
Yep.
we're in the boat? Okay.
So it's a 10-minute cast. It's no problem while you're in the boat. You don't have to man any oars or sails or do any work other than pray as needed to your deity. And everybody heals
healing
up.
increases by 1d8 for each slot above second. No, I'm just doing it at second. So, all right. And 2d8 plus my spellcasting modifier. That 4, 11. So 14 points.
14.
Everybody take 14 points.
Everybody heals up 14 points.
Nice. Thanks, Corncob.
Well,
Thank you.
everybody I can see within 30 feet. So if Lyndon's hurt, he gets to take some too.
Lyndon is not hurt.
And the
And
worm
I'm
comes
Frostbite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't heal the worm. Don't look at him.
I assume you're not healing the worm.
No. But I will need to take a rest here pretty soon. Because I'm out of second level spells.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. You drag it all the way back to the lake house that you are borrowing from the mayor, which is being assembled as we speak. Maybe I'll touch up some of the assembly. I think though maybe she's got it. Okay. Oh wait, what is this? Okay.
Oh, we left something behind.
Let's move some stuff around here. Wait, this is backwards. Oh, wait, here we go. Sorry, I got to figure this stuff out. What are we doing? There we go. So you've come in.
Somebody's moved the pier.
Don't worry. By the time you get back to the area of the lake house, there are no chunks of ice in the water. It's all very clear. Well, I won't say very clear. It is going to freeze over, but it's easy to move through. There's nothing. The iron bar never has to come out. Lyndon is able to navigate you normally using oars and sail. And you end up back at the dock, towing this creature behind you. And everybody is breathing normally and safely. Good job, everyone. I mean, but what's next? The orb you have gotten out of it, but you haven't looked at it, examined it, turned it in.
Yeah, we should examine the orb,
warm.
and Fathom should try to figure out how to extract and preserve the blood from this thing.
Well, so we're safe inside and we've left the Ankeg out on the pier?
You have left this worm creature out on the dock. I'll plop him up on the dock and I'll put you all inside.
But we're not worried about it burning through the dock. We don't want to burn down our new house.
No, it's actually gotten cooler and cooler as you've traveled across.
Well, we better
the
get
lake.
that blood out of it quick then, I bet.
Yeah.
Are there some
A
like
good mage
glass
might be
canning
able to
jars or
charge it
something?
up again. I don't know how it works.
My nature insights have informed me, however that I should phrase that, that the blood of this thing is extremely valuable for fire magic. And since you are affiliated with fire magic, it may be of interest to you and your fire magician types.
So let's
is there
look through
anything in the house that we think we could
find,
store it in? Yeah.
Yeah, canning jars, water skins.
There are all kinds of clay pots made for preserves. You could easily store it in that.
That seems safe. I don't think a skin would be safe from this blood. If it hurts our skin, it would hurt a water skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I will try to drain the blood into the containers.
All right, we'll see how many pints you get. Roll a d12.
Let's mix it with some of that mead. Man, we're gonna have
Yeah.
some good mead.
Some spicy
Oh,
I
mead.
don't- I don't think
That'll
that's how
warm me
mead
up.
works, but okay. I got 4.
4. All right, you were able to safely. You lost a lot as you were trailing it across the lake. It's a good thing maybe you weren't chumming, but you got 4 pints. You have 4 pints in clay pots of this remoraz, which is what you identify it as, blood.
Okay.
Four
Make sure we
pints,
get
that
these
seems like
pots
a
closed
lot.
up nice and safe.
Hi,
Yep.
Enzo.
Do I notice any decent sized bones?
It's got a wonderful skeletal structure, gooseneck. It's actually, it has many legs along its torso, and although admittedly that it's not perfect, but its spine, it makes a very beautiful spine. So
Wow, we could skin it.
no long like
skin all the flesh
femurs
off
or
it and-
things, but plate, smaller things that could be used as plates or saucers or
Let's make a chandelier out of it
discs.
for our new house.
Lots of bone.
Okay, well, I would like to harvest some of the bones, some of the plates.
Okay. You got them. Let's say you have roll d20. Maybe you did a
Hey.
wonderful job.
8.
8. You have 8 perfectly in place spinal discs from this creature. Undamaged. Perfect.
Can you make armor as well as weapons? Because you need some more armor.
Well, I have a natural armor ability. I don't know. Does that?
Well, we gotta
if I
make,
make
we gotta
armor, will
make
that
or find or buy you some armor somewhere.
Yeah. Can I make some armor with some of these plates, Frank?
It's not very shapeable, so you could use it to a very limited extent. To be honest, you need things to make armor. You need things that are shapeable or carvable.
Okay, well, we'll skip the plates for
Maybe
now.
someone else can use it or trade it or something.
Okay.
But we need to get you some armor before we.
You get a good valuable amount of stuff at it. Between yourself and Fathom and Pugil, I think those are the 3 that are most likely to be on top of what you should harvest from it. I would like you to all to make nature and or arcana checks, depending on whatever you would like. So that's Gooseneck, Fathom, Pugil, nature or arcana. Tell me what you get.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
18.
18, very nice.
4.
4, okay. But, so Gooseneck doesn't have a lot to add to this. However,
Just good bone, I know.
But between the others of you, ooh, this is going to be very good. You decide amongst yourselves. Either Fathom or Pugil, roll a d8.
I'm going to vote Pugil. No?
Okay, Pugil, roll a
No.
d8.
No? You
Okay.
don't want to? Pressure's on you.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it. 6.
6. You find about 600 gold. Doesn't get gold here. About 600 gold worth of materials that, if you were in a larger town, you can sell. Keep that.
Including the blood, or
No, that's not including the blood. That's just in bits of bone and skin and other elements of this creature.
Fantastic.
Now Pugil wants to go look for Mom.
Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't, but I'm saying he wants to. He's gone mercenary.
this took about all we had, unless someone was hiding something.
It was difficult. Okay.
So is it time to look at the orb now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
look
I
at
don't
go
the-
actually
ahead.
remember what the return to sender instructions are on this, but if we had any.
Yeah, you do the inside the house or out on the very cold dock?
Let's go
No,
inside.
in the warmth.
Okay.
We're gonna have to have a nice
That way you
fire
can
and
put a
warm up
hole
our
in our-
feet.
Put a hole in our roof as it flies back to sender.
There is a fire place.
Well, we can afford to fix the roof now.
Well, we'll see what happens after you get done with this cursed object.
Let's see. You, without an issue, get in, take out the orb, begin to look at it.
I'm a little bit worried about how it got in the keg to start with.
It ate the person who had it, is my guess. It seems pretty adept at eating things.
So you're going to get eaten by an onkeg, is what you're saying.
Very good at eating things. All right. So you've got the
I'm
orb.
gonna try not to.
You've pulled it out. All of you actually can sense, once it comes out into the open, all within sort of line of sight of all of you, you can sense it's not evil and it's not good, just a disturbing level of magical presence from this orb.
There's
All
a
of us
disturbance in
can?
the force.
All of you can. I mean, unless you absolutely
But it's
don't
okay because it's kind
eschew
of neutral.
all magic. Yeah, it's kind of neutral.
It's neutral magic.
Yeah. It doesn't glow. It doesn't do anything to you visually. It doesn't stand out as being.
Well, I saw something in the middle when I had the vision.
What are we
You
supposed
did.
to
You
do
saw
with
an
it?
eye in the middle when you had the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Errant
Yeah.
wants
Are we
to ask, hey guys, since I really wasn't around in that episode, what are we supposed to do now with this thing?
Take it back
That's a
to
good
mushroom
question.
hell?
Yeah. Let's,
You're
Do-
supposed to
how do
take
we
it
get
back to the
back there?
mushroom
You
place.
did Pillow Talk? Didn't she tell you?
she didn't. She didn't. We were too busy.
Really, all that.
Busy.
And
Is it
and
her
no one knew.
watching? Let's put the orb in front of his abs. Is it her watching right now?
Yeah. Let's
Hey, babe.
observe the
Hey,
pupil.
babe, we got the orb. Hey, babe.
So
The orb.
you
Yeah.
were supposed to pick it up along the way, and then continue traveling to the port town with it, and there
That's
she
right.
would pick it up from you.
Yeah.
Or
So now we
agents
got to have
of
all
hers.
this like magical weirdness with us all the time.
I
If I
mean,
put it in the
Yeah.
bag, is it still emanating magical weirdness?
not
Oh,
really.
yeah.
If
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
within your line of sight, you notice that you don't. The magic may still be there if you're using magic to detect it, but if you're not, and you're just trying to feel the world around you, it doesn't seem to permeate outside of
How
your
big
vision.
is it? Bowling ball size?
Grapefruit,
Well, how big?
cantaloupe sized, I believe we determined.
Wow,
Cantaloupe
that's
size. So we
convenient to
could
carry
hide it-
around.
We
Use
could
it?
hide it in a backpack.
Yeah, I just don't want, every random citizen we walk by to feel the magic.
Yeah, no, if it's covered up, it doesn't seem to emanate anything.
Okay. Do you guys want me to stare in it or anything, or we're just going to put it in a bag
Yeah.
and wait till we?
No, stare
Get
at
to
it.
Stroke it
City.
fondly and
Something to-
whisper
Yeah.
sweet nothing to it. Sweet
Try to
magical
talk
Yeah,
to
nothing.
it.
okay. Sure, I'll do all of that.
Mushroom Queen. Oh, Mushroom Queen. Can you see me?
Fiery lords of the dark.
Oh, whatever little evil demonic stuff that you do all the time.
I don't
that
do
too.
evil things. I just do opportunistic things.
Yeah.
Totally different.
It is different. I mean, it was opportunistic that you stayed back there with her, Errant.
Yeah. I have some
Some
kind
might
of
say
boon I haven't
evil.
realized yet.
You and Pugh both.
Yeah. Oh, hasn't come up yet.
No, it hasn't.
Not yet.
So,
We'll
do we know how
Boon has been-
far this port town is from where we are now?
Yeah, so it's snowing now, which won't inhibit, well, it will slow down your travel, but it won't
it's down.
stop you from traveling the rest of the way. Yes, please, Anne.
Cast that mush spell.
Hey, Fathom, if you use the dagger now, does it still point to the orb, or does it point to our next destination?
Well, that's a good question.
It
Let's check
points
that out.
to the orb. I am going to. Anne's looking for the button, but I'm just going to steal it.
Stab the orb with the dagger.
Wait.
No.
I don't think we're supposed to
Don't
wreck
stab
it.
the orb
Why
with
would
the
she want it
dagger.
back if we wrecked it?
See what it
Stab
does.
Abran with the dagger.
I'm gonna rub the orb on him.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you should get Gooseneck's goose grease. And,
We could put the orb in him.
shiny. I'm sure it
Keep it
needs some
safe.
cleaning after being in that
Okay, what's our
Rimmel
destination?
stomach.
Your destination is, so you haven't been there before, so you don't know what the name of it is, but if you continue, so right here we have a view of the Three Sisters Lakes, right? You're in Lake Dairen right now. Basically in that sort of city area you see to the lower left of the screen with the house.
That's our lake house.
Yeah, that's your lake
Right
house.
there in the pier.
So
The
you'll
house
have
that permits built.
the house that permits built. You'll have to go through Mara and Acacia, and then you'll end up traveling down this sort of river through Pinebrook, which is a small sort of valley town, river valley town. And beyond that, as you travel, you will get to the seashore. So quite a bit beyond Pinebrook, you can't see here, but to the north, a good 200 miles beyond Pinebrook is a port town. You don't know the name of it because you were just asked to go to the seashore, and Fathom's patron doesn't really know mortal names or care about them anyways. It's a port
I'm
town.
sure we'll know it when we see it.
Yeah.
For anybody that's watching
does
Reaper
this-
Live last night, do we have an Apache helicopter spell?
Yeah, where's that spell?
No, I'm afraid not.
Damn
So
it, Fathom.
is
That
Lyndon
sounds
still
handy.
around, or is he gone?
Is Lyndon? He's still around. He's warming his
I take it
hands.
we're looking on our map
Yeah.
to find this out. I'm going to ask him: is this a journey you'd undertake in a boat, or would you stick to the shore?
It gets,
Seems like it'd go a lot quicker, at least to the mouth of the river, on a boat.
You could go beyond Pinebrook in a boat, but to Pinebrook there's some rocky areas. There are individual personalized boats that one person may get in each, and you could make it over the water through to get to Pinebrook. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you're skilled at it.
Fathom would drown in 3 turns.
The Three Sisters.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I was
I
just
cannot
curious
breathe
about
underwater.
the Three Sisters Lake, the lakes rather than the river. I wouldn't mind going overland down
No,
the
the
riverbank,
lakes.
but
To get to the river.
You could easily travel by boat through the Three Sisters. Yes,
is that a
That's
journey
something
you've ever undertaken?
many times.
Something
I
we
could
could hire
Going for the next couple of months.
I mean, it wouldn't take long at all. 2-3 days at best to get to. Probably 2 days, even in this weather, to get to where you'd have to start walking.
Let's do that.
And
All right.
what kind of deal
That sounds
could
like
we
a
make
plan to
do
me.
that?
Yep. 5 gold would be my usual fee.
How long till you're ready?
I'll be ready tomorrow. I want to check the ship
Will we
over
be
after
stopping at the other towns, or
that. It would add, but
Or we
you
don't
could
need
if you wanted to.
that's up to these guys?
I'm not overly.
They're
We
a
seem
little
to do so well in towns. I'm not sure I want to stop at everyone along the way.
No. Well, there is more
Well,
murder
the-
opportunities if we stop.
Well, it's just, if I recall correctly, my patron said that they were having troubles here. So
Yeah.
if you want to help people and not just do things Mushroom Lady says, we have to stop in the town.
But if it's your
But
patron,
that's up to you
what kind
guys.
of trouble are they talking about? I mean, who are we saving?
I don't know, it was
Your patron would.
human stuff.
Be on
I
the
don't
side
think
of-
she was trying to lure us, so I don't think it was things she cares about. I think it was things we care about.
Yes.
So you'd rather go overland, or you'd rather go by boat and stop at each little port of call?
I
Let's make
don't have a strong opinion. I'm just letting you guys know that there were no troubles in this town, so this is not the place that has the problem.
Hey, Lyndon, have you been hearing anything about problems in other settlements around the lakes?
Well, as I get around a little bit, I have heard a little bit. Near the towns around Lake Acacia, there have been some problems, but I have to be honest, some of them sound far-fetched, like hearsay. But I did just see a giant fiery worm, so perhaps it lends
So
some
what's
weight
the
to what
hearsay?
I've heard.
Yeah,
Well-
far-fetched hearsay problems are our favorite.
I say there is a creature that stalks the towns at night. It doesn't dare enter. It stays on the outskirts, but anybody who's left out beyond sunset is taken and never seen again.
Is it a walled town?
No, not at all. We don't wall the towns here.
And
Oh,
is
like
it
that would
these
be
towns
stupid.
to the east? Is that what he's talking about?
Yes, to the north.
Which
and
lake are
east.
these towns on?
Acacia.
On that far eastern lake.
Yeah. So if I bring up the map here and go to Three Sisters, so
Yeah, let's go up there.
upper right corner there.
It's on the
You're
way.
in Diren right now.
It's on the way, yeah.
Okay.
It is
It's on the way.
Yeah, let's put in at Acacia then.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
and kill
let's
whatever
swing
that
by.
is.
Nobody wants to
Well,
stop
wait a
at
minute.
Mara.
See anything
I
going on
mean,
in
should we
Mara?
check in on Mara just in case?
They are quiet, but you certainly could if you wished. I'd be happy to do
Yeah.
it. No more charge.
Is there anything in Mara? Is there is it a large
So we're just-
population?
We're just going to turn into a wandering band of do-gooders now?
No,
Yeah.
that
Most
would
of
be
our
murder.
most of our
Let's find things to
crops
kill.
come from Mara. They have better land than anywhere else amongst the
Oh,
lakes.
okay. So this is a farm town.
They're just a bunch of hippies. Let's leave them alone.
I say so we can
Go into
that we can get the boat up that narrow between the right there before we get to Acacia. That's a
Yes.
navigable.
Oh, yes.
area? Okay.
I can navigate it. It's a little rough, but we'll be fine.
Yeah,
No, let's do it.
let's do it.
Excellent. We'll leave tomorrow.
So
And-
do we.
That is where we end our episode tonight, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
I am. I want to make sure that the mayor takes the big worm seriously
Okay. Like
and check. I'm sorry.
the potential that there's a greater worm out there?
Yes. That this one, I understand. I want to explain. This one was molting and growing, which implies some sort of life cycle, which implies it came from some egg, and that implies something laid that egg. So,
An egg the size of
Be
a
aware.
cantaloupe, I'm guessing.
I like your layers of deducement.
Okay.
yeah, I'm a nature boy.
You're
The
deducing. You deduced the crap out of that. That's a good job.
I did. I know, man. Captain Syllogism. That's me.
I feel like anybody who has seen the body of this creature will take it very seriously. So if you don't dispose of it, obviously,
No,
Just gonna leave it
I would
rotting.
like to.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
back
it's not
down
rotting;
to the
it's icy,
inn.
so it'll
Yeah. Go back down
they'll
to the
get
inn
an opportunity
and
to study it.
encourage him to make a deal with the guys upstream on the mead, but say he should mount this worm's head in his inn. To
oh, okay. He will get on that. Why don't you make a persuasion check, Pugil? Why don't we? It's a whole
Persuasion.
mead worm mounting head deal. This is
okay. 20. Roll 16 plus 4. 20.
okay. Absolutely. He thinks that's a great idea, especially the mead you mix with Linden's overly sweet mead and your slightly tannic, sort of bitter medicinal mead was a beautiful blend.
Well, he should make a good deal with these fellas uphill from here, and
Cut us in. You should
cut
cut
us
us
in on
in
the.
for putting it together.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do? We got to head north.
We'll take our payment in the blended meat.
In honor of the worm that you found and the source of the mead being honey, he's going to call this new blend of mead Fire Flower.
Ah, yes.
Ah,
Ooh,
Very
pretty.
good.
I would have called it corn cob.
Usual fire flower.
I'd have called it Pugil Fire Flower.
Yeah. Pugil's
He'll
fire
probably
flower.
he might call it Pugil's Fire Flower for as long as and when you are in town.
Very
Just
good.
wait till you hear. Just wait till you hear this guy sing our song the next time we come through about our wondrous adventure. Killing
Just
us.
fire in the
Work
poop
and
hole.
making meat out of it.
I'm writing the song now.
I'm gonna give you some. All of you get some magical stuff right here, because I'm gonna do this semi properly. Before we end our session, you each get 845 experience points.
Sweet.
Woohoo!
Good job, everyone. Making it through the snow into this
8:45.
845. Now, there's not a lot of like physical, monetary, established treasure. You obviously found some valuable items you can sell later, and the orb you were looking for, but no gems or coins or things like that.
That puts me at 8216. Is that what you guys have?
that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a long ways to go to level 6.
It's a long way to go, but
Think about all that killing, Michael.
yeah.
That's right.
So much killing.
Oh,
Think we're going to hear that.
We
That's
feed
good.
gooseneck to a few more worms, and we're there in no time.
I know. We just set it up and start chewing on gooseneck, and then we all have free reign to beat it up. I love it.
That's right.
That's the best strategy yet. Stick gooseneck in its mouth.
Yeah, I think
and
we
then
got
can
lucky.
pummel it.
That could have been much
Yeah.
worse, I think.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
think
If that
so.
had not been a molting youngster, I think we would have been pretty
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
toasty.
that might be true, but you made it through, so it was good. It was appropriate for
Mom
your.
is going to be after us, though.
Well, you're not here anymore.
Vengeful.
Yeah, how does it know it's us?
Exactly.
That's that community's
Not the
problem.
magic orb. It like attracts, like the ring. It's going to attract foes towards us.
Keep giving me ideas, Michael. It's the
Worm
best.
guy
you
just
can-
ate a dude. Yeah,
Okay,
you're not
there's
helping.
more
You are
things-
not helping.
There's more things to kill. I love it.
Shut up, partner.
So
Well, we
I
got
bel-
the night dwelling creature of Acacia to work on. We don't need
Yeah.
more.
I know. I'm so excited.
So we are quite likely 2 weeks not going to be back. It is Christmas Day, and
Yeah.
we are visiting families. There are numbers of amongst us who are visiting families, and we want to respect that. So,
Freaking Christmas.
and but we'll see you after that on our normal schedule. So thank you, everybody who is watching this evening. Thank you, everybody who's playing, all the players, Justin and Sidwi for being the technical director and camera operators for this evening. Thank you to Sirenscape for our background ambient music. And again, thank you, Reaper Miniatures, for promoting this good old-fashioned RPG games around the table, which we all love. I'll let all the players
Good fun.
plug anything they want to, or say goodnight, or whatever they want to do for all of you out there. And I'll start in the unusual spot at the other side with Jen. Jen?
Thanks a lot. Had a great time. Looking forward to when we play again in a few weeks. And I don't have anything to plug.
Rhonda.
Well, Jen is wrong because if you've missed any sessions or if you're new, you need to go read Kay's updates of our adventures
Yes.
because they are a
Yes.
lot of fun to read and will help you figure out where we are and who everybody is and stuff. Like we read them because we forget what we're doing. But she makes them entertaining to read too. So it's not just a recitation of facts or anything.
No,
True.
It's fun to
There's
read.
awesome.
There's a link in the chat to Kay's journal.
Good fun.
And I'm just gonna plug Kay today. I'm not gonna plug
Okay.
my stuff, but I had a great time. Thank you for an unusual and suspense-filled encounter.
Oh, thank you. Michael.
All right. I had a great time as always. We got to fight something, we got to stab something, we got to shoot something. So all my boxes were checked there, and none of us died. So bonus. And since I'm going
Well,
to follow
sort
him
of.
well, not dead.
And you eat your
Yeah.
abs.
Yeah. And since I'm going to follow the traditions already been started and promote the person behind me, so I'm going to promote Rhonda and the Bird in the Brush blog and Rhonda's Bird in the Brush. Is it Rhonda Bender or Bird in the Brush Patreon?
It's Bird with a Brush.
Bird with the Brush Patreon. You guys, if you're not following Rhonda on Patreon, please do so. Lots of stuff, lots of written things, lots of things with words. If you like to read, Rhonda
There are
has got
pictures
it
too.
nailed for you. There are pictures too, and great tutorials, and you learn a lot. So definitely check out Rhonda. But I look forward to playing in a couple weeks as well.
Yes. Thank you. Jason,
Well, since Michael jujitsu'd his way out of it again, Clever Crow on Tuesday, leave it up to me because my co-host forgot this time, like I did last time. We have
I
a
passed the
heretofore.
buck to, I promoted Rhonda, and then I knew because you were going to promote the Crows.
Okay, I'm going to promote you.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
heretofore unknown guest, right? We have a guest, hopefully. Big guest.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? So we'll have a guest on the Clever Crow Show, the afternoon show next Tuesday. We want you to tune in. The other thing I'll say is thanks a lot to everybody. And I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Be safe, no matter how you celebrate. Be safe is the main thing. And enjoy the season.
Jason.
That's very nice.
Gene.
Well, I'd like to thank all the viewers. I'd like to thank Justin and Ann and Frank especially. I mean, you guys did a great job tonight, as always. I had a blast. I almost died once again, but that's my MO.
Yeah. Almost doesn't count.
Almost doesn't count.
We'll get
So
you some more next port.
Good.
Next port, we'll
Yeah.
get you some armor.
Some armor. I'm not sure what else to promote with Jason because he's already promoted his own thing. So I guess I can,
again.
Okay, yeah. Well, so watch Clever Crow on Tuesdays at what time is it? 3 o'clock. 4 Central.
4
Central. And don't forget, go to the Pledge Manager and order all that fun stuff that you know you're going to regret not ordering.
Yep.
And that's all I got. Happy
it's all drying up now, so
stay safe and well. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you. Bobby.
I want to say thanks. That was super fun. Chilly, but fun. And I don't really have anything to promote unless Gene has something he wants me to promote for him since we're doing that. But other than that, I just want to say Merry Christmas and all the holidays, and I hope everybody has a safe and a good one.
Thank you. So, yeah, I guess parting comments before we leave out of here is I'll promote. Well, everybody here has painted and or sculpted something for the Kickstarter for Reaper Bones 5. Closes soon. Get on that. Everybody you see here has got work represented in some form or fashion.
Yep. Individual miniatures are starting to be limited in quantity, so you have a few more weeks left, but they will be drying up as we speak. So get in there, add to your pledge managers. Lots of good stuff. Go back and watch the Bones update and make sure that you've got everything that you want to get.
You never know when you're going to find the right creature to pit against your players if you're a DM. So, you know.
I think I'm gonna start sculpting nice fluffy things from now on.
Yes,
Yeah,
sculpt
exactly.
things that we
When do we
can
get
take.
to run into some mouselings? I want to run into some
Slow,
mouselings.
weak
and
creatures.
Not the fun
A
size.
hidden tip.
Not the fun size
tip.
ones. I want the little tiny mouseling.
Yeah. Something that got kind of buried in the Kickstarter are the scions, the 4 elemental scions. I'm painting 2. Rhonda's painting 1. They're all the
Yeah,
elementals.
slow down, Michael. Slow down.
I really
I'm way
didn't
behind.
know a lot about them during the Kickstarter. I kind of lost them. So go in and look at them. They're all 4 of them are really, really good sculpts, and I don't
They
know
are very
I don't know how
cool.
many have been picked or anything, but when you get to paint something, you're like, holy crap, this is really cool. Even more so when you see it digitally. So my tip is if you haven't taken a look at these 4, I think it's a great deal. Take a look at them. Yeah, I'm painting production copies, and they're awesome, and they're great pieces. They're Bones Black. So
Somebody
great.
clip that.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's. Oh, I'm Frank. I DM for Nightheart Gaming. You can catch one of our regularly scheduled Saturday games tomorrow, 4:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/nightheartgaming. Twitch.tv/nightheartgaming. That's it. Justin is here. Are we raiding anybody tonight, Justin?
Yes, we're going to be rating Not Great RPG. They look like they're doing some good old-fashioned D&D at a table together, and it looks like they're having fun. So
Sweet.
we'll send
All
you
right.
guys on over there.
We'll stick around, share some of the Reaper love, and we're going to play some.
Hope you feel better,
more
Justin.
D&D.
Thank you.
Happy
Michael.
holidays.
Yeah. Good night,
Thank you guys
everyone.
very much. We'll
Happy
talk to you later.
holidays, Justin. I hope you feel better.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
There's some teeth out.
See you guys.